Hello everyone, I'm Tiffany and today we are market prepping cookies. I have 7 different cookies we're making, 1 to 3 batches of each. I'm only making the dough today. We're gonna bake it on Friday in next video. And I've got a lot to do today, so let's just jump right into it. Grab yourself a tea and let's go.
The very first thing we're going to start with is making some brown butter for the brown butter chocolate chip cookies. Let's add in all of the dry ingredients and give it a mix. Unfortunately, I'm not sharing this recipe with you guys. Hopefully someday in the future I can share a similar recipe. We're going to mix all of the wet ingredients, all of the sugar into that butter. And don't worry guys, this is a triple batch of cookies, so there isn't that much sugar in it. I think we make like 35 cookies, so there's a decent amount of cookies. So don't worry, it's not overly sugar. And these are by far my favorite chocolate chip cookie. Another thing I love about this recipe is it doesn't require a stand mixer, so just grab yourself a couple of bowls and you're good to go. You can make these awesome cookies. Now, I really wanted to save the egg whites from all of the cookies that I make because half of the cookies use just egg yolk with a full egg. But yeah, I wanted to use the egg whites. I wanted to make an angel food cake, but that just didn't happen. If you want to see me make an angel food cake, please let me know in the comments. I really want to make one. I've never made one before. I've heard they're like really tedious, but yeah. Adding the eggs into that mixture, we're going to give it a good stir till it's fully combined. And then add the flour in, chocolate chips in. And then this cookie is basically ready to go. We're not baking anything, as I already mentioned. We are just getting it ready to go and then baking it all later. Spoiler alert, that video where I said we're going to bake everything, I didn't actually record that. I'm recording this voiceover like way in the future. Sorry about that, but yeah, that didn't happen. I was just way too busy with market prep. So you will notice I poured in a lot of chocolate chips. I tend to do that. I had way too many chocolate chips, but I think the cookies look good. They taste good. So that's really all that matters, right? I mean, who doesn't like a little extra chocolate chip cookies? All right, we got all of the brown butter chocolate chip cookies portioned up. We got 34 of them. Perfect. Let's clean up and move on to the next cookie. Onto the brown sugar cookies. These I've actually haven't made yet before. I wanted to, but I just didn't get around to it. I was getting a little cookie burned out from eating them all. So I didn't actually make these before the market. I think they turned out really good. I actually just had one and yeah, they taste really good. They actually just taste like brown sugar. I was expecting them to taste more molassesy and a little bit more of like a gingerbread cookie. So I might up the molasses in this cookie. I'm not 100% sure yet though, but I do think that it just gives my booth a little bit more variety in cookies that I offer. So if you have watched any of my previous videos, you will know that we have 3 kids and 1 on the way. You might be like, hey, when do you have time to bake, do YouTube, and all of that stuff? Well, Unfortunately, I was laid off in November. I've been applying to jobs, but I haven't had any luck. I thought I would give YouTube and my small business with my husband a shot, and just go full out. And so when the kids are at daycare, because we're not pulling them because we're hoping I get another job. So when the kids are at daycare or school, then I record, and then I edit at night when they're in bed. It's very busy life, but we're making do. And yeah. Speaking of baby on the way, we are due the first week of May, so I will probably be pre-recording some videos for May and taking a month off. I know I should probably take more time off, but I have already scheduled farmers markets for June, so we are going to start back up in June, and it will be wonderful. All right, back to the cookies. We are starting making the brownie cookie now. I do really like this cookie. I think it actually tastes just like a brownie. One of my favorites. And unfortunately, I did not bring this one to the market. Spoiler, sorry. But I just did not have time to bake this one because this one I cannot pre-portion out. It is just too liquidy. Basically, the dough for this cookie looks like brownie batter, and you just can't pre-portion it. And so I just did not have time to get this portioned and in the oven. I really wish I would have had them because it just does add another chocolate cookie on my display, but I did not. But I will be bringing this in the future, so it is definitely still one of my staples, even though I did not bring it today. But yeah, this brownie batter cookie is very, very easy to make. It is just doing some melted butter, add in some chocolate, make a little fudge slurry, and then you pour in the flour and eggs, and I mean, not in that order, but it's just those ingredients, and then mix it up in the mixer for a long time, and voila, you got yourself some brownie batter cookies, which are delicious. I highly recommend this recipe if you are looking for a good gooey chocolate cookie. Onto the raspberry rye cookie. Oh my goodness, this cookie, guys, I dream about this cookie. It is so good. It is delicious and tart, but in the best way possible. I love this cookie. I can't get enough of it. Like, it's just so good. I'm gonna go have one after I'm done editing this. But this cookie is actually pretty easy to make. It just takes a lot more ingredients than other cookies, but I think it's worth it, and it is definitely a staple. Trying not to spoil anything, so I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, I think it turns out really good. Love the recipe, and I'm excited to see where this cookie can take me. Talking a little bit about our future plans. So I don't know if I've said this in a video or not. I cannot remember. But this summer, starting in June, we will be doing 2 markets a week, 2 farmers markets in my nearby towns a week. And I hope that they do well. My husband makes hot sauce. I make the cookies and other baked goods, whatever I feel like making and whatever I have time to make. And yeah, so we're going to be pretty busy with that. I do have another upcoming guaranteed market on April 18. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll be doing this whole process again in April. I'm hoping to get into another show in March 7. So exactly 30 days after this market that we're prepping for. And then I'm hoping to squeeze in one more market too before baby, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Honestly, I'd be okay if it doesn't happen because I have nesting to do, and I also am going to be baking and meal prepping some freezer meals for postpartum. If you want to see videos on those, please let me know. I know cooking isn't really my videos, but I would be happy to do a cooking savory food rather than more of the sweets foods. But that kind of wraps up the raspberry rye cookie. This cookie does get a topping of frozen raspberries. I use frozen. You can use fresh. Right on top, right before it bakes. And that is what gives it the extra tanginess. And onto the very last cookie this video. If you're counting, I'm sorry, I did not do 7. I only did 5. I did not have time to do any more. Well, I could have had time to do more, but I just chose not to. And I do think it was a smart decision overall because I didn't want to have too much stock. But yeah, we are moving on to the last cookie. This is a double chocolate espresso cookie. I love this cookie. If you want to see more about it, go back to the video where I made this one and the brownie cookie, I believe. And yeah, I love this cookie. This is like one of my top 3 in my store. I think it turns out so good, and I love the espresso in it. It's just a hint of espresso. It's not enough to like make you not have it because it's too much caffeine. Like, no, it's only a tablespoon per batch of espresso. But it really adds to that chocolate flavor. And I just love this cookie. Super glad I made a double batch. I didn't need to make a double batch, spoiler, but I'm glad that I did, and I think going forward, this will be one of my more popular cookies. But I guess we are starting to wrap up this video. I just want to say thank you all so much for sticking around and watching and supporting my channel and my small business. I really, really appreciate all of you for every minute that you watch. It truly does help. And I just can't wait to see where YouTube can take us. And yeah, I'm excited. I think this summer is going to be filled with a lot of fun and a lot of baking and hopefully a lot of market recaps. So if that is your thing, definitely follow along. And yeah, but thank you all so much for watching. Next video, we are actually making fudge and caramel. It is one that you do not want to miss. And yeah, thank you all. Thank you all so much for watching. And I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.